Since Election Day, the stock market has been breaking records and hitting all-time highs, while President Trump has promised to roll back regulations and taxes on companies. Maria Bartiromo sat down with billionaire real estate investor Sam Zell to get his take.
Good to see you, Sam. Thanks so much for joining us.
Nice to be here.
How is the president doing? We're talking so much about the pushback from the left and the president trying to implement policies. From your standpoint as a business person, how's he doing?
I think he's creating a lot of hope. I think that the last 8 years has been a period of lack of confidence by the business community in the political leadership of our country. And I think the result has been failure to make commitments, failure to take risks. It's not accidental that corporate America has more cash today on its balance sheet at any time in history.
Yeah, because businesses have been sitting on cash for the last 8 years, unwilling to make investments or hire workers.
How do you make commitments when you don't know what tomorrow is going to be like?
And you don't know what tomorrow is going to be like, largely because of all the regulations that have been put in place.
Well, the regulatory burden has been just unbelievable. I mean, I know we're a small player in the regulation world, and our costs of compliance have gone up 5 times in the last 4 years. That's not productive allocation of capital.
So, I mean, that will dictate behavior in terms of how you allocate capital, right? Look at all of your businesses right now. Are they still sort of hoping for, a loosening up of the regulatory environment?
I think that the biggest opportunity that Trump has is to create stimulus by loosening up the regulatory environment, which by definition means creating stimulus without creating debt to pay for it.
Yeah, well, that's the issue. And then, he needs to have some revenue raised as well. When you look at this tax plan that he's talking about, 15% corporate rate, potentially, or 20% corporate rate, as well as lowering taxes, getting an incentive for companies to take all that $2 trillion that's overseas, bring it back. Will it work? Will that dictate behavior where companies will say, okay, my earnings are going to be up because of this lower corporate tax rate, I will hire new workers, I will invest?
I think that the fact that the President of the United States has made prioritization of jobs in the United States his #1 issue, almost by definition means that it will result in positive impact.
So you think the economy will get better in the coming years?
I think the economy opportunities to get better are significant.
You've been looking at the emerging markets. Are people finally warming up to the emerging markets?
Well, let's say they were very hot for the emerging markets, and then they got very cold.
Very cold.
And, my history has always been to be an investor, a contrarian. And so a lot of the emerging markets that have been very cold look more attractive to me right now.
Yeah, because the valuations are way down.
Yeah,
isn't that right?
Particularly Brazil.
And you just invested a lot in Brazil, right? What are you doing in Brazil?
Well, we just invested in the largest parking operator in the country.
That's right.
And that was done at a time when nobody was interested in Brazil, so hopefully we got a good deal.
All right, so then let me go on the other side of that coin and ask you about the U.S., because valuations are way up in the U.S., and you've always been so smart in terms of timing out this market. Are you a seller because of prices where they are right now in the U.S.?
Well, I think that the real estate market has been extraordinarily powerful for quite some time and has very slowly but steadily improved since the bottom of the recession. What we haven't had during that period of time is significant new supply. We're now dealing with significant new supply in multifamily and in hospitality in particular. The good news is demand is still there. If that's the case, then the oversupply will be absorbed and will go forward.
Let me ask you before you go, Attorney General Jeff Sessions this past week talking about sanctuary cities, basically saying, look, you don't want to follow the law, we will cut funding, federal funding. Is that the right move? What's your take on immigration and sanctuary cities right now?
Well, I've always been a big fan of legal, fair immigration. I think immigration is what this country was built on. I think the future of our country is dependent on continuing to be the draw for committed people all over the world. At the same time, I think we have to have laws that are followed. So I think the concept of sanctuary cities leaves a lot to be desired.
Sam, it's great to have you on the program.
Pleasure. Great to see you.
Thank you so much. Sam Zell.